obviously we spoke a bit earlier about your journey and how you started it, but what did, in a nutshell, initially sparked your interest in being a personal trainer? Like, how has it evolved over time?
I think it's because I've seen how sport has helped me and exercise has helped me for my mental problems, and I just think that it's great being able to give that to other people as well, and seeing people progress and getting stronger physically and mentally, and making sure that they make it enjoyable for them as well.
That's it. And body dysmorphia is such a huge factor usually in like people's obsession to look a certain way. Has that ever affected you in life?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. In terms of, I was bullied at school. I was every time I used to go into a room, you know, they used to sing "Roll Out the Barrel," and I was probably not really overweight, but it just made a massive, big impact on me. And I wanted to be that age. I was looking at, you know, I was interested in boys and whatever, you know, and feeling ugly and fat, and so hence the reason why I stopped eating and obviously had an anorexia. So I suppose that's what stemmed my journey.
So in some ways, you spoke on the phone the other day, are you sort of thankful for anorexia because it's got you where you are today?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's helped me understand my body, not only sort of physically, but also what nutrition I should be, and food that I should be eating, and stuff that I should be, you know, drinking as well, to help maintain my body shape.
And without throwing any names under the bus, but have you recognised any of your clients and body dysmorphia? And if they have, what would your message like? What do you say to them to encourage them?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that obviously come here and they don't actually, you know, they're very, very slim. They don't need to lose any weight, and they work hard. But I think that's because they need it for mental purposes. But I always just say to them, make sure it's just feeding yourself correctly, you know, making sure that they've got enough energy to be able to do that. I mean, obviously, you know, they look great, but it's also being able to have the energy that to maintain the exercise, doing the exercise.
Do you feel like our generation now, the youngsters, do you think how big do you think social media is an influence on them to look a certain way?
It's huge. I would say that I would never want to be back in my 20s, early 20s ever again. You know, especially having the issues I had then when I'm in my late 50s, but in those days I still had that mental problem in terms of looking, you know, nice, you know, whatever. But now it's even, so much worse. So yes, I would feel sorry for women and girls coming into this world and trying to keep, you know, looking up and keep, but they just need to grip onto something. Like I got to, you know, love my sport and that really helped me. But it's good and bad.
Just a last question. You mentioned about your past and how difficult it was growing up. You said about you getting bullied and stuff. So when you used to eat, do you want to talk a bit about your disorder when you were young?
Yeah. Well, I used to, when I used to get really conscious of it, I started then to stop eating. And then I was taking packed, you know, obviously lunches in, but to my parents I was eating it, but I wasn't eating it. I stopped eating. I was only probably eating a bit of fruit and whatever. At night time I was sort of shuffling food into my serviette, so again they thought I was eating and eating my food. And then afterwards I would go upstairs and go to my room and exercise as vigorously as I could to try and wear off the calories that I'd just put in my body. And this went on for, you know, a month or two, and I started to see, I was weighing myself every day, and I started seeing the pounds dropping off and thinking, yeah, you know, this is good. And so I carried on doing it, and then obviously they could see I was getting thinner and thinner. And in those days, again, there was no help for that. Mum just took me to the doctor and said, I think, you know, there's something wrong with, you know, I just said, look, I don't want to put on weight. I don't want to put any more weight. I'm feeling great, you know, and I was thinking in my head, I was looking great. I looked back on photos and I was thinking, wow, I'm really thin. And my whole body, you could see my, you know, bones through the hip. I remember thinking, oh, I'd love it when my hip bone sticks out. And it was just, it's incredible really when I look back at it. But anyway, in those days there wasn't really the help you get now, but there is now. But thankfully to Mum and my parents, I was able to get over that by starting to think about, well, okay, exercise healthily, I need to start eating properly if I'm going to exercise and I got into running. And from then on, I just haven't looked back really.
Thank you so much for that.